Welcome to Pitch Points. Today I'm going to review the game between Bournemouth and Manchester City, and the game briefly between Tottenham and Arsenal today. It's another wonderful day in the Premier League. Two magnificent games that went on today, in addition to other games that went on today within the Premier League, and also in Germany and in Spain as well. But today we're just going to focus on Manchester City versus Bournemouth. Man City were away at Bournemouth, and the game was what I call a technically perfect, error-free game. It's a fantastic performance by the Manchester City team. Really just going to Bournemouth and determined to grind out the 1-0 win, which they were able to get. And Bournemouth, I'm not surprised at the way they played. Basically played two blocks of five, essentially, or at times played a 4-5-1. And their goal was basically not to give Man City any space. No space, no chance, no angle, no between the lines, no running around the back, no chance at all. And it really worked for about 50-60 minutes. It really worked. But City were calm. They kept moving the ball side to side, kept keeping control, kept dominating the game. I ended up with a 1-0 game. That's in summary. But what I really want to focus on, the point I really want to focus on is really just the mentality to keep going and keep pushing with teams that sit back, denying Man City space, and the team has to figure out how to push through the lines and get through the game and get the goal. The first half started off against City playing a 4-3-3 formation, the usual 4-3-3 formation with Ederson, Walker, Stones, Otamendi, Zinchenko, Gundogan replacing Fernandinho, David Silva, Kevin De Bruyne, and then you had Bernardo, Aguero, and also Raheem Sterling on the left-hand side. And Bournemouth had some really good players. They're normally an open team. They like to open up and play the ball. They like to pass the ball quickly, counter-attack with David Brooks, with Josh King, with Sermon, all the players that they have. But today, after the 5-1 defeat at Arsenal, they clearly were not looking to come out and play City toe-to-toe because they knew they would get smashed as they've done before in the past 8 times. So they basically sat back. And again, kudos to the team. Really, today was a very good performance. Not a spectacular performance, but a very good performance. A very good 3 points for the team. There are 27 more points to play for, and it's going to be a battle to the end based on how this team plays and keeps going forward. A couple of things that I noticed during the game. I thought the first half, David Silva, we'll talk about player ratings, was generally poor. And maybe that was because I think Kevin De Bruyne was playing a deeper role. And so there was a hole in between the Man City line, the Man City midfield, and the attack. And so there was nobody really bridging the gap or playing that half and half space, between the defense and the offense. And so David Silva was kind of caught up front, and he kept missing his passes, maybe because there were 2 people who were blocking him. But in the second half, much better. With Kevin going off, David now fell back and played a deeper role. I was able to connect the offense to the defense and really was playing between the lines at a much better place. But again, kudos to Bournemouth for pushing forward and for trying to stifle City. And the statistics were off the chart. I mean, they're really just crazy. I mean, think about it. Look at something here, like 82% possession for Man City, 82% possession away from home. That's madness. Bournemouth had 0 shots on goal and 0 shots on target. In fact, it's a record by Opta. Opta says that Bournemouth are the very first side in all of the history of the Premier League that have failed to take a shot on goal for an entire game. It's never been done before. 0 shots on goal, 0 on target, 0 off target. And some other stats here. Basically, Ederson had 0 saves to make. Man City had 810 passes versus Bournemouth 175 passes. So clearly dominating possession, dominating the game, and coming out with a 1-0 win, which frankly is all we really need at this point in time. Get the 3 points, close the gap, go top of the league, move on to the next game next week at home versus Watford. In terms of my player ratings, generally I thought that Ederson had a 7/10. He had really nothing to do. Dude had nothing to do. Some short passes, long passes, playing the ball around, did his job. Walker, I'll give Walker a 7/10. I thought he was okay. John Stones, I'll give him a 7.5/10. He had to leave at halftime because he felt something and he didn't want to take a risk. And apparently what Pep told the team was, if you feel anything, whatever, get down and come off. Let's build your fitness up instead of just taking a risk and you get even more injured. So basically he came off because he felt a little thing. He wasn't quite sure, and then the company came in his stead and did quite well. Otamendi was solid as a rock. The general was good. He was disciplined. He was dedicated. He was focused. Won all his tackles. Passed the ball well. I gave him an 8 over 10. Company, I gave him a 7.5 over 10. Once he came on, the game seemed to stabilize and kept flowing, and he just gave the defense confidence in the back. The captain, who's ever confident and ever strong. Gundogan played again a good game. Passed the ball quickly, passed the ball well. I gave him an 8 over 10. Kevin De Bruyne, I give him a 6.5 over 10. I think he's still trying to find his form. And when he felt something in his hamstring, he came off. He says it's nothing major. We think it's just a minor strain, and it should be back in a week and a half or so. David Silva, first half had a really bad first half. I was a little frustrated, but I think it's because Kevin was on the field and he was playing higher up, so he couldn't really make those connected passes. He couldn't really play what he normally plays. But in the second half, when Bernardo and him were in the midfield and then Mahrez went to the right, we saw the David that we know, which is basically breaking the lines and passing the ball in between the lines and controlling the game, either speeding the game up or slowing the game down. Was really good performance by David Silva. Bernardo Silva, again, good on the right-hand side, but even better when it came to the central midfield to play in that three with Gundogan and David Silva. I gave him a 7.5. Raheem Sterling, I gave him a 7 over 10. After 3 games in a week, after the cup final, 120 minutes, actually 135 minutes, when you consider extra time, after playing at home against West Ham, who are a good team, and then playing again today against Bournemouth away, you can always excuse him and give him 7 out of 10 for his performance. Aguero worked really hard today. I mean, worked his socks off. I gave him an 8 over 10 as overall. So overall, a good game by Manchester City. 3 more points. We keep pushing. 9 more games to play for. 27 points. And no matter what happens in the league, this team has made me proud, and I'm really happy for the way they performed. Hopefully this form can carry them further in the Champions League and also to the FA Cup as well. The quadruple is still on. It will be unprecedented if the team can do it, and we'll keep watching on that. And the other game, Arsenal-Tottenham. Tottenham were very lucky. I thought that Ramsey was a beautiful goal from Ramsey. That the counter-attacking football and just chipping it over the keeper was fantastic. Harry Kane was offside for that goal. Should never have stood for the penalty that he won. He was clearly offside. With VAR next season, that will change completely because that will be ruled off. And also, the linesman for the Kane goal offside, he was completely out of position. Very poor officiated by the linesman, who was clearly behind the line that he was supposed to be. That's why he couldn't raise his flag. So, I mean, the referees association really needs to take a look at that and figure out how to solve that. Hopefully VAR will solve that next year. The penalty for Arsenal, I thought was a little soft, but when Aubameyang took the penalty, I just thought, blast the ball. What are you doing? Trying to fool the keeper. Just blast the damn ball. But when he tried to kick the ball, Vertonghen was clearly encroaching upon the play. So that goal, the save should have been ruled out. And Aubameyang should have taken the kick again. But again, VAR will take care of that next season, hopefully, and we'll be able to resolve that. But it was a 1-1 performance. Shared points between Arsenal and Tottenham, but clearly Arsenal deserved to win that game, in my opinion. Next week, it is back. The UEFA Champions League, the premium competition in world football. My favorite competition is back. And the question now is, can Manchester United overcome PSG? Can Ajax go to the Bernabeu and actually overcome Real Madrid? We shall see. Stay tuned for that review next Wednesday. And then on Thursday, I have something special I'm going to share with everybody else. So stay tuned, subscribe to my channel, and thank you very much. Peace out.